Tried it on today. This thing's pretty badass. What's up, everybody? CN Cycle here. Thought I'd give you an update on my whole crash drama. If you haven't seen my previous video, go back one and it'll show you exactly what happened in the crash. I sort of went over what happened to me in the last crash and the damage to me, but this time I'll go over gear and my bike and what happened. So, as I mentioned before, I never actually hit the ground. When I was thrown off the bike, I went into a short little palm tree, which sort of caught me upside down and suspended me hanging upside down. So as you can see on my helmet, the only damage really is the scratches on the visor. That's it, and that's just from the branches of the trees as I was going in it. The rest of the helmet is pretty much unscathed. And as I mentioned before, my jacket doesn't even have a scratch on it because nothing ever hit my jacket. The car didn't hit the jacket, nor did the ground. I guess in some respects I was pretty lucky the way I landed. It could have been a lot worse. So you're entitled to a new helmet every time you get into a crash. It's California state law, so I'll be reimbursed for a new helmet. Even though I don't think this one really has any damage and probably could be worn again, but they say every time you're in a crash you should get a new helmet. So I figure better safe than sorry. But again, as far as I can see, it's really only the scratches right here on the visor that went wrong. So in keeping with my black and yellow theme, sort of become my colors, I guess. This is the RF, my old helmet, this one is the RF1100. I can't remember what it's called, the model, but obviously it's got the yellow racing stripes. So I have upgraded to the RF1200. And this is the Beacon model. This is my brand new helmet. I'll get the Spectra visor like this one. The gold Spectra visor. That hasn't come in yet, so I still have just the clear visor on here. But here is the here's the RF1200. So I tried it on today. This thing's pretty badass. Kind of looks like Darth Maul, but yellow. They actually do have this helmet in yellow, and some people I've heard call it the Darth Maul helmet, but I think it looks awesome. It's still high vis, keeping with my black and yellow. And I think it looks badass. It's noticeably, I mean, if you look at the profile of it too, it's noticeably smaller. And it's still Snelling approved, just like the RF1100, but the casing is smaller. I think it's like something like 3 or 4 ounces lighter, which really doesn't sound like much, but I tried them both on, and it's a noticeable difference in the weight. So I'm pretty happy with that, and I'll end up getting reimbursed for this too. And this one's got the ready-made pin lock anti-fog visor, which the RF1100 doesn't have. So that is the new helmet. I think it looks pretty rad. It's pretty sweet. So the other notable piece of equipment that I should probably show you, and you can see I have my hard cast on now, which I'll have on for a couple of weeks. And again, if you want to go back and see the damage of me, go back to my previous video. But for all of you out there that need a lesson in gear, this is the boot I was wearing in the crash. This is the BMW all-around boot. It's kind of their entry-level, sort of all-purpose touring boot. It's pretty significant. Let me set it down. It's, I mean, hard plastic all the way around, and it protects all the way up to my shin. Now this right here, this is where the paramedics cut it off me. So they could have done the Velcro and probably zipped it off and taken it off, but paramedics like to cut stuff off. They cut off all my clothes. So this is where they cut it off me. So this wasn't damage done by the wreck. This was what the paramedics did. However, this right here, hold on. This is hard plastic back here. This is really thick, tough sole, and this whole separation right here. The sole, you can see the sole is coming apart, and you can see this whole heel was gashed open. This is from the impact of the car on my right leg. The car's fender, I'm presuming, cut through this, and this is, I mean, you probably can't see it, but this is multiple levels of plastic, tough stuff. Through that, all the way into me, and then it cut me down to the bone, and then broke my ankle and my heel. And this is a legit riding boot. The doctor, the trauma doctor, the guy that gave me the stitches in the hospital, he pretty much told me if I had been squidding, I had been wearing sneakers or whatever, regular shoes, there's a pretty high likelihood I could have lost my foot. So for all of those of you out there not wearing gear, let this be a lesson to you. Wear proper gear. I could have lost my foot if I wasn't wearing these. Instead, I just have a broken ankle, so I'll take that. So, I also have a video of the bike, which I'll flip over to right now. I couldn't really talk. I couldn't really talk and give a status on what the bike is while I was there at the garage, at the BMW garage, because the mechanics were talking. I just couldn't really do a proper narrative on it. So I'll just tell you now, the frame and the subframe is bent. There's a big gash out of the swing arm. There's a ton of cosmetic damage on the levers, on the front fairing. All that part is repairable, but the problem is the frame and the subframe are both dented and bent, and the swing arm has got a big gouge out of it. And so the assessment of my bike is not done yet, but the mechanics there and my claims adjuster have pretty much said it's a slam dunk that it's going to be totaled. So there'll be future videos on which new bike I end up riding. So without further ado, here is the video of the bike damage. Thanks a lot.
The side broke like all the way through the tube.
So that pretty much means disassembling the whole thing, right?
Well, I think the mainframe got hit on the other side.
The swing arm got some nicks in it. The main frame got scratched. The subframe broke, kind of with those three items.
It's done with structure.
Yeah. And especially.
Well, did you talk to you Friday or Saturday?
I talked to him Friday, and then I talked to him again today.
Yeah.
And he said he wasn't sure yet.
Well,
if you want, is that taking photos?
Yeah, I'm just.
If you want, I can go on the other side for you.
Yeah, I wanted to grab a couple things off it, like that cell phone holder and the sock too.
Yeah, they gave like a boot, a shirt.
Oh, there's
or something.
Yeah, I'd be curious if you carry that over. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'll carry it.
Trying to get just a kind of panoramic view of it.
Is it on like every couple seconds or something like that?
Yeah. It's actually videotaping. I'll just edit it out.
yeah, so it'll probably total loss. Because when it's struck out. Yeah, they might offer you. Yeah, they would. The insurance would if you wanted to retain salvage. But it'd be a salvage shine. They're going to give him one that's
Most of the time they sell them to the tow company, and then they do whatever it is they do.
It's mostly like Copart insurance. They'll put it somewhere and then they'll sell it.
Yeah.
Copart is it's mostly car stuff, but what they do is they'll sell other stuff like that. And that's how that.
Well, the bike was already started.
Just gonna kind of get one on the backbone, but there's not a whole lot on the top side. You can kind of see this is where the subframe broke. I don't know if you got an angle on it or not. And then the whole side of the main frame right here is just where it looks like it dragged. So I'll give you this back.